Hello, this is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. You are listening to a commentary track for the 1964 Hatsu Basho, Day 14. The video coverage for this tournament can be found on the Japan Sumo Association's YouTube channel and accessed with a $9 membership. This commentary track, of course, is free, and as usual, to sync up the video coverage with the commentary, I'll count backwards from 3, 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, I'll click play on the video coverage. You'll do the same and we'll be in sync for the day. And without further ado, I will get the countdown started and get us going here. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama, Taiho, Chianofuji, Archive. Alright, starting off top division action today, we have Wakanokuni, Juryo visitor, up against Aranami. Bottom of the Maegashira, he's set to go down with the Makekoshi, excuse me. He's secured a Maimitsu here, frontal grip with both hands, but Wakanokuni, bit of a Morozashi there, hooked under the armpits, swung around, and Aranami touches down first. So Wakanokuni, they might call that a kotenage, perhaps. Might have been an arm hooking throw. Totsuyoyama, he'll be going down to Juryo as well as Aranami. He's with the 211, pretty close to the bottom of the division. Hanahikari, he won't be moving up, but he is a Juryo visitor. Hanahikari's got the outside right. Totsuyoyama the inside left. Totsuyoyama tries to jerk out Hanahikari in. But Hanahikari just moves forward, brings him to the edge and finishes him, Yorikiri. So that's Hanahikari's fourth win. Doing a bit better than Totsuyoyama, who's got his 12th loss here today. Now, Udagawa, Miyagi no man, one step from Makekoshi with a 6-7, is up against Wakamiyama, Shinyumaku, already with a 9-4. Good score. This is their first time meeting. Even hit. Already Morozashi for Udagawa. He's double inside. Starts moving Wakamiyama to the edge. Wakamiyama putting up a decent defense, but he's high. Oh, he's just barely holding on. Udagawa keeps him on the edge and finishes him, Yorikiri. So Udagawa didn't waste any time, got inside there, double inside. Put up Wakamiyama high. Kept the initiative of the attack going, which is good to do. Wakamiyama, you waste your time, he'll wear you down. Udagawa, in any event, brings himself even here on day 14, 7-7, so his fate, in terms of Banzuke direction, promotion or demotion, will be determined on Senshudaku, the final day. Wakamiyama falls to his 5th loss, still with a chance for a double-digit record. Now, Fusanishiki, 6-7, he's also a step from Makekoshi today, is up against Kane no Hana, same score. Their head-to-head's 5-4 in Kane no Hana's favor, relatively even. And a little bit of a sidestep there from Fusanishiki, and he loses his balance as he jumps to the left, slipping down. So, might be a higi, a non-technique. Well, in any event, Kane no Hana gets his 7th win, Fusanishiki, to his Makekoshi, his 8th loss. Fusanishiki, a little too defensive, I think. He immediately jumped to the side and tried to jump out of the way again, didn't want to take Kane no Hana head on. Hirokawa, an Oshi Zumo specialist like Fusanishiki, is up against Ogiyama, already with a Makekoshi. And pushing away is Fusanishiki, coming in from a low angle, relentless, and finishes Ogiyama at Tsukitaoshi. He really chased him around the ring there. Good precise movement from Hirokawa. Good awareness of himself, of his place in the ring. Ogiyama tried to stay alive, but couldn't get into gear. Hirokawa, that's his 9th win, has an opportunity for a double-digit winning record for this Basho. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, Ogi no Hana, a strong grappler from Deiwa no Umi. Chance for Kachikoshi today against Wakahaguro, former Oozeki. And on the edge of Makekoshi on 6-7. Ogi no Hana jumps the gun there. We'll have to try again. It's a 5-2 head-to-head in Ogi no Hana's favor, so if he can just get himself onto the belt, I think he's got a good chance of finishing this quickly with Yorikiri. We'll see what happens. And a good charge from Ogi no Hana, but he can't get himself on the belt. Wakahaguro backpedals a bit, keeps his arms forward. Good low angle from Wakahaguro, but Ogi no Hana is on the outside right now. But Wakahaguro doesn't waste any time. Just surges forward. He was coming in at a good angle to begin with, so he just kicked it into overdrive, I suppose you could say. Put himself into gear and moved out Ogi no Hana. They're both 7-7 coming out of day 14, so we'll see how they do tomorrow for a winning or losing score. A little peek at the front row here. Alrighty, now we've got Wakanaruto, 6-7, against Toyokuni, who's also 6-7. It's a 1-0 head-to-head in Wakanokuni's favor. Oh, sorry, it's Wakanaruto, not Wakanokuni. Wakanokuni is his stablemate. In any event, Wakanaruto, a little bit of Inashi there, a hit and shift. Takes Toyokuni head-on, but then moves to his right and thrusts him down, Tsuki Otoshi. So Wakanaruto stays alive, moves to 7-7 for a chance for Katsukoshi tomorrow. Toyokuni, that's his Makekoshi. He'll be moving back down the Maegashira a little bit. Tsurugamine, he's already got his Makekoshi. He's 5-8, he's up against Tama Arashi. Not doing well at all, with a 2-11. It's a 3-2 head-to-head in Tsurugamine's favor. Relatively even, they're both grapplers. Outside left, inside right. Tsurugamine pulls away, tries a little bit of pulling action on the belt, and then moves back in for Yori, really hiking up the frontal right there. And it looked successful to me. Perhaps a bit of a hard fall there. Tsurugamine is pretty slow to get up. Probably not too seriously injured, it's just a hard impact on the clay there, but Yori Taoshi victory in any event for Tsurugamine to move to 6-8. Tama Arashi, still not having a lot of luck, moves to 2-12. And Maegashira 4, I'm not sure he'll be totally out of the top division, but he'll be a ways down. That is to be sure. Myobudani, the Tsuri man, the lifter from the Miyagino stable, on 6-7 against 6-7 Dewanishiki. 5-4 head-to-head in Dewanishiki's favor. Dewanishiki receives Myobudani. Myobudani tries to cut in there with the left. Looks like he's got the outside right. Dewanishiki inside left. He's trying to keep Myobudani's inside off his belt there. Dewanishiki wrestling with that hand. Well, he breaks away and moves for that outside right. Now it's Hidari Yotsu, Yotsuzumo, inside left, outside right, all four hands on. Well, who's stronger in the grapple here? I think at this point Myobudani is the one to look for. He moves in, he wants to lift. Dewanishiki's pretty heavy, but Myobudani should be strong enough for a Yori win. Dewanishiki too, when he's able to, he's able to. He hasn't had a lot of ability to move forward with a lot of strength in this basho. So caught in this position, I wouldn't really favor him. Myobudani, he's waiting. They're both minding themselves. Dewanishiki's used to very long bouts. He's happy to be patient. Myobudani. We jump ahead a little bit here. Myobudani hiking up the outside right and finishes Dewanishiki. Yorikiri. So Myobudani, no Makekoshi today. He moves to 7-7. Dewanishiki, that is his Makekoshi. Another loss might see him leave the division. He's pretty close to the bottom, but I think he's probably safe at this point with 6 wins, if I had to guess. In any event, Myobudani, very strong forward win. Amatsukaze, well, he's been waiting on that 8th win for a few days now. He's been on 7 wins for a bit, and he's inching closer to a 7-7 score. Wakachichibu was hoping to move to a 7-7 today. He's already on 7 losses. And a relatively even start. Wakachichibu with Inashi hits and shifts to the right. Now Wakachichibu in deep with the left. And relatively deep with the outside right too. Amatsukaze in a bit of a caught a little high here. And Wakachichibu lifts. He's flexing his back and wins by Tsuridashi. Lift out. Wakachichibu really flexing his muscles there. Good strategic movement. He can get a little caught off guard on the Tachiai, but that time he seemed to really mind himself well. Moves to 7-7, and so does Amatsukaze. So he went from, I think, maybe a 7-4 score, looking pretty sure of a Kachikoshi, to now 7-7 coming out of day 14. Not having a great time in week 2 is Amatsukaze. Good for Wakachichibu. Alright, we're at the halfway mark, so the Shinpan are shuffling in. There's the former Kagami Sato. Having a seat. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I meant to say Yoshibayama, his rival. Now Miyagi no Oyakata. Now Fujinishiki is up against Kyokuni. He has to beat Kyokuni to keep from Makekoshi, and Kyokuni has to beat him to keep his perfect run going. An even start here. Oshi the way that Fujinishiki wants it, but coming in lower is Kyokuni with that Hazuoshi. That bent back, dropped hip, under the armpit attack that has led him to 14 straight victories. Kyokuni, he might just win the Yusho at this rate. If Taiho drops a match and Kyokuni doesn't, he can win this outright without having to go to a playoff. We'll see. Fujinishiki, unfortunately, that's his Makekoshi. Another peek at the front row here. The other side of the front row. Some banners going on. A sponsored match is coming up with some prize money on the line. Wakanami. Katsunami Stables' tiny titan. Very strong on the belt, a great lifter against Maedagawa. 310 not doing very well at all. Maedagawa pushes and pulls on the arm, and, well, I'm sure he wanted to create some distance there, but Wakanami's already caught him with an inside left. Maedagawa tries to lift, but that's Wakanami's game, and Wakanami stays planted, finishes things with Yorikiri. So Wakanami moves to 7-7, Maedagawa falls to 3-11. And Maegashira 2, not really at risk of leaving the division altogether. Wakanami with the chance for Kachikoshi coming into the final day. We'll see what happens. Kitano Fuji, Shin Yumaku with 11 wins already. Done excellently for himself. Is up against Hagoroyama, 5-8, struggling a bit here. First time meeting. And Kitano Fuji jumps the gun. Well, best of luck to Hagoroyama. Kitano Fuji seems pretty eager to win at every opportunity. Good Dayashi. Hagoroyama, good low charge. He's moving Kitano Fuji back, but Kitano Fuji's gotten inside now. Deep inside with the right. Finishes Hagoroyama Yorikiri. So Kitano Fuji always moving forward even when he's pushed back. Generally he's a Hidari Yotsu, he prefers the inside left, but he'll take what he gets. Migi Yotsu inside right. Why not? Yorikiri victory for Kitano Fuji. That's his 12th win. Not doing bad at all. Not doing bad at all. He'll move a ways out the Banzuke next time out. Aono Sato not having a great basho. He's 3-10 at the top of Maegashira against Kairyu Yama, Kyokuni's stablemate, who has been fighting off Makekoshi. And in a little high is Kairyu Yama. Aono Sato brings him to the edge inside left, but Kairyu Yama regains his footing, switches things up, brings Aono Sato to the edge, and finishes him Yorikiri. So good recovery from Kairyu Yama from a not great Tachiai. Aono Sato got underneath him pretty quickly and not with much resistance. But even on the edge of despair, Kairyu Yama remains resilient and moves to 7-7. He may just get his Kachikoshi. We'll see tomorrow. Aono Sato, that's his 11th loss. Understandable for the top of the Maegashira, of course. Sawa Hikari, 5-8 against Kainoyama, 3-10. Sawa Hikari's won their only encounter to date. And jumping to the side and trying for a bit of a Totari there is Kainoyama. Sawa Hikari regains his footing. Kainoyama ends up finishing him on the edge with, it looked to me like a scoop throw, Suinage. So Kainoyama gets his first win against Sawa Hikari, and his 4th win in this basho. Sawa Hikari, that's his 9th loss. So moving a little ways down, but he's highly ranked to begin with, so nothing too much to be concerned with. A good learning experience at the end of the day. Haguro Hana. He's only got one win. Maybe he can get a second today against Iwakaze. He's not doing much better on 310. It's a 6-4 head-to-head in Iwakaze's favor. In low is Iwakaze, where he wants to be. Haguro Hana, not where he wants to be, on the edge and out. Iwakaze's win, Yorikiri. He moves to 410. Haguro Hana, 1-13. A disastrous result. But ranked at Sekiwake, even if he had set out the entire boss show, I think he'd still be ranked relatively comfortably next time out. So, it is what it is. Iwakaze. He was in gear. That was his kind of sumo. I'm sure he's happy with the result. Kitabayama, 7-6. A chance for Kachikoshi today against Tsune Nishiki. A Maegashira who's never really been a showstopper, but having a great boss show this time out, showing some really aggressive, fleet-footed sumo. Really giving his opponents a lot to work with. Or I say a lot to work against, I should say. Unfortunately for Tsune Nishiki, the odds are not with him. It's a 3-0 head-to-head in Kitabayama's favor, so he has been served up here. A winnable match. Kitabayama with the outside left already. He's moving Tsune Nishiki back. Tsune Nishiki's trying to break that grip. Now moves inside with the left of his own. Trying to pull away. Get Kitabayama's arm off him, but Kitabayama really in deep there with the outside right now. So now it's Hidari Yotsu. They're both inside left, outside right. Kitabayama clears the Sagari from his foot. So I think in this position, Kitabayama should be the one in charge. Bit of a lockup right now, though. Tsune Nishiki looks like he still wants to try to break the grip. Make this a little more open. I don't think that's happening, though. Kitabayama's locked in pretty deep. And he crunches in. Takes a couple steps back here. Well, Tsune Nishiki drives in. Wants to finish it Yori or scoop. But doesn't go. Kitabayama should overall be stronger than him head on. So I expect him to come out ahead here in the end. We'll see. Kitabayama is the one with his back to the edge. Tsune Nishiki drives in again, but he gets twisted at the last moment. Kitabayama wins Yorikiri. Well, that was sort of to be expected. A great effort, though, from both Dikishi. Commendable. Tsune Nishiki. In any event, Kitabayama gets his Kachikoshi finally here on day 14. A little underwhelming on the whole for an Ozeki, but Kitabayama is a skilled Dikishi. Maybe next time he'll be a little bit more central to the Yusho race. Tsune Nishiki drops to 9-5, still with a chance for double digits. We'll see tomorrow. Now, Daigo, looking for his Kachikoshi today against Ozeki Tochi Hikari. Looking for a double-digit result. It's an 11-8 head-to-head in Tochi Hikari's favor. In low is Tochi Hikari, inside with the left, now with an outside right, but Daigo's got the same position. Daigo's got him on the edge, he's bearing down on him. Tochi Hikari's on his toes, and now he's out. Daigo, pretty aggressive stuff. Tochi Hikari, he really seemed to get the better of the Tachi at first glance, but Daigo was not deterred. He sunk inside left quickly enough and moved Tochi Hikari out. So Daigo gets his Kachikoshi finally. Moves to 8-6, Tochi Hikari, 9-5. He could still get 10 wins. We'll see tomorrow. Tochi no Umi. This is the match of the day. He's up against Yokozuna Taiho. This will decide whether Tochi no Umi retains a chance for the Yusho. I think we'll see here if anyone can really beat Taiho. It's a 14-5 head-to-head in Taiho's favor. If anyone, Tochi no Umi should have one of the best chances to beat the Yokozuna. He'll want to stay stay ahead of him. Use superior speed and positioning to upset the Yokozuna. If Taiho can catch him, then it should be his match. We'll just have to see what happens. And head on is Tochinomi digging his head under the chin, looking for a Maimitsu. He's got the right in. Now he jumps to the left. Taiho spins. Taiho's moving onto the arm now. Taiho's trying to get inside Tochinomi. He's pulling back now and maybe pulling back a little too much. Taiho, watching from above, slaps on the back and sends Tochinomi onto his chest. Tochinomi, only his second loss since the first day. And his first loss since the first day. Taiho, 14 straight. The race is between Taiho and Kyokuni at this point. Tochinomi has been taken out of contention. So has Kashiwado. Taiho in charge. Looks like he's going to win this one in all likelihood. But there's one more day to go. We'll just see what happens. Our last match for today, Yokozuna Kashiwado is up against Yutakayama. It's a 5-2 head-to-head in Kashiwado's favor. Yutakayama really made Taiho work for the win yesterday. He's been showing pretty good form in general this basho, though he's only doing marginally better than his stablemate and fellow Ozeki Kitabayama, and could very well end up with the same score leaving today. Now Kashiwado's quick. He's inside with the right and finishes Yutakayama. Great Dayashi. Great forward momentum off the Tachiai. Kashiwado just overwhelms the Ozeki. Kashiwado goes to 12-2, even with Tochinomi. Yutakayama goes to 8-6, even with Kitabayama. So, the state of the Yusho race at this point is it's not settled yet, technically speaking. It's between Taiho and Kyokuni. If they're both undefeated, they'll go to a playoff. If they both lose, they'll go to a playoff. If one wins and the other loses, you know what that means. Well, in any event, thank you for joining me.